You're listening to the Known Legacy Podcast, brought to you by Known Legacy Ministries. For more information, go to knownlegacy.org. Now here's your hosts, Bill and Travis.
Good morning, Bill. I was messing around, making faces and whatnot, and then I realized, wait, we're going to be on camera. Hey, good morning, everybody. We're so glad you're here. Welcome to the Known Legacy Podcast, where we want you to wake up, gear up, and come alive to who God has called you to be. Thank you so much for being a part of today.
Did you say COD? Did you just say COD? Who God wants you to be? We all know you intended God, but I promise you, I heard COD. Rewind 30 seconds.
Stop it.
And see if you... Okay, so, anyways, yes, we're happy you're here, waking up, gearing up, and coming alive.
To who God wants you, God wants you to be.
Not the great cod in the sky.
That's not a bad fish, though.
No. It's good. It's good. The British people love it.
Man, we're so glad you guys are here. Thank you guys for putting up with us again, and we are so glad that we're back here to have another great podcast. We're excited about our guest.
Very much so. Talking about restoration of marriages, and so if that's something you or someone you know is struggling with, you definitely want to check this one out and listen in.
Absolutely. Well, man, we have a lot of great things coming up as we get started. We have our men's retreat coming up April 10th to the 12th. We'd love to have you there. There are still some spots available for you to be a part of that. There'll be a link below for you to sign up. Spots are filling up. So
and this is not just for the old men. This is for young college kids, too. So 18 and over is what we're talking about. And there is some discounts if you are in college. And Bill put a hard line at 30. If you're still in college at 30, you don't get the discount. I don't know why I said that, but
if you're living with your parents, we can make something out. We do have scholarships available
we do
people like you. No, I'm just kidding. For anybody, we understand the times can be hard. We'd love you to be a part of what we're doing. As well as that, we also have a Thursday morning Bible study that we would love you to be a part of called Adrenaline Shot. That we'll have a link below for you as well. It starts at 6:45 in the morning. Great way to connect with other men all throughout the country, and would love to have you be a part of that. So we'll have some links in there. But man, it is so great to see your face, Travis.
It is good to see your face too, Bill.
Thank you so much. That's pretty much why I said that.
And good morning to Kyle in the corner.
Hello.
It's good to have you here too, Kyle, doing what you do.
Man, a few words.
So, as always, info@knownlegacy.org if you have any questions, comments, concerns, prayer requests, or if you have any suggestions for the question of the day.
Question of the day.
So stupid.
Actually, no, that is a huge thing, guys. We want you, if you have a question, I mean, you might be out there going, I got a way better question of the day that these guys can ask.
Thank you.
You need to send it to us. info@knownlegacy. We're waiting for you. Question of the day, info@knownlegacy.org. We'd love to hear your question of the day because ours are good, but yours might be gooder.
Yes. Might be a lot gooder. So anyways, the question of the day.
Question of the day
has been inspired by some young millennial men that I have come to know, and they have an odd, I would say, hobby.
Time out. Are there young millennial men anymore?
Well, okay, middle-aged millennial men.
Welcome to real life millennials.
To Travis, they're young.
Those youngins there.
Says the 60-year-old man in the corner.
Wow.
Nice.
Wow.
At least I can still see him. Anyways.
Wow.
So, their hobby is Lego. And so they will go out and they'll buy and then they'll construct, like one of the guys that I'm thinking of, he has an entire room in his house dedicated to his Legos, and he creates like castles and all of these things, and then he brings his kids in and tells them stories using the Legos, right?
Wow.
Which I think is fascinating. And then another guy, he does it, and then this is a blending of two hobbies, I guess. He does Dungeons and Dragons. Is that
okay? Yep.
But he does it with like setting up Lego settings, and so they're journeying through all these different Lego settings. It's way beyond me. So the question actually is, if money was not an issue, what would be your hobby? Like, if money was not an issue, what would be your hobby? Bill, you're first.
Kyle, you're first. I got to think about this.
I think that my hobby's going to have to be learning how to fish in the ocean, learning how to drive a boat in the ocean, or sail or whatever, and learning how to survive on the water.
For context, listen to our previous podcast about what we would want our retirement to be.
Yes. Hobbies. I think if I could think about it, I would say woodworking.
Oh, you took mine.
Like building a lot of stuff. Like, because I just got to build some planners for Sarah. and man, they were so much fun to make. And then I realized how like peaceful it is. I got my music on. I literally had my yacht rock on in the background. It was awesome, and just got to sit in my garage and build stuff, and nobody was like, I mean,
Yes.
time kind of flew away, and it was nice. I think that'd be what I would do, but I would probably build so much stuff. She'd be like, just stop.
But you could
Just
sell
stop
it. Oh, you and Sarah could be like the old couple at all the fairs.
Yeah.
Kind of awkward people that wear matching outfits.
Yeah.
And sell your woodworking
you
stuff.
need to come over for dinner.
Wear your Dutch clothes.
Touch clothes. What about you, Travis?
Well, because you took woodworking.
Well, you can do it too.
No,
Like, it's not.
no. There's a
The
code.
the known legacy wood factory.
I'm gonna do this is even worse. I'm gonna do pottery, because that's the kind of guy I am. You know, just getting your hands in the mud and throwing together like a dozen coffee cups.
Remember the movie Ghost?
I do.
I picture you and your wife in there like, oh, my heart. Like that? And here you are doing your little pottery thing.
I can guarantee my wife would have nothing to do with that.
She'd be like,
It would be Bill. I'd be like, get away from me.
Known legacy pottery. Actually, we could do that.
So I'd probably do
Sorry.
pottery.
We're off the rails already.
We
I'm
are
sorry.
completely off the rails, but I love it. So, anyways,
That's
introduce
cool.
our guests and let's see what their hobbies would be.
Man, these are some good friends of mine, Bryan and Alissa Fields. We're so excited to have them on today. Great to see you guys. Great to see you guys. So we're so glad to have you guys on. So what about you? What about you? If money wasn't an option, what would your hobbies be?
Thanks for having us. We're super excited, and I would love to hear Bryan's hobby first. I'm dying to know.
That's the sound of the bus rolling over you,
Yes,
Bryan.
right.
Yeah,
Beep.
because she knows that I'm lame and I don't have any hobbies. So I would say I love fitness, and so I would probably perfect my pickleball game so that I could just go out and absolutely destroy all the
You
old
never
people.
played pickleball with us.
Well, this is because I have to work, and they said that if money wasn't an option,
Yes.
then so I would go out and just dominate the pickleball courts.
Professional pickleball player. Based on your fitness level, I would say you're doing great with your hobby so far. So I don't feel too ashamed about that.
I do love the moment when she's like, you never played pickleball with us.
Welcome to Counseling with Known Legacy.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting podcast, guys.
Oh, we're so excited. Alissa, what about you?
Oh, I'm a geek. So this is, I guess if you know me, you know this, but I love puzzles. So I know that the right answer, I mean, of course we want to travel with our kids, that kind of stuff. But I would really, wooden puzzles are very expensive. And so I think I would get some really cool, unique puzzles. I'm not one to paste them and stick them on a wall or anything like that. But I just think there are some fun puzzles. I did my first one over Christmas and I loved it. And so, and then I moved to a mystery puzzle. There's some good puzzles out there. So we have been enlightened over the last couple months. And then Bryan stays far, far, far away.
Yeah,
from
that
my
sounds
hobby.
amazing. I would love to join that.
Wait. A mystery puzzle. Is this where you get a bunch of pieces and you have no idea what the picture is and you just got to go from scratch and try to figure it out?
I think that's a surprise puzzle. The mystery
they have a
puzzle,
surprise puzzle.
Come on, Travis.
Yes. So this one is a mystery puzzle, and it's actually, I am not on TikTok, but the kids say it's all over TikTok. And you put a puzzle, you can get it at Target. It's called a mystery puzzle.
Okay.
And it has 1,000 pieces. And then once it's done, you shift the sides around, and then it leaves the middle. And then you put the rest of the pieces together to reveal what's going on within the puzzle. And I did an artifacts one it's an artifacts at the museum. So you get to see where the dinosaur came from and all the animals
awesome.
and stuff. It's just fun. And yeah, he makes fun of me, but I love whimsical and just
That's cool.
make you feel good stuff.
Yes, and please hear this. There is a cottage industry for everyone.
Yes.
I
love it. That's amazing.
I'm like, wood puzzles, I get those words going together. Fun and puzzle, I don't get going together. But then this mystery or surprise puzzle, that's even another a layer. I'm like, I can't, my mind doesn't compute.
I do remember someone I knew that was putting together a black puzzle with all those pieces. And I was like,
No. No.
No, never.
It seems like purgatory.
I think actually
I would never do. They have to be fun. They have to be bright. And the wood puzzles are cool because the pieces have shapes. They're all different shapes.
Cool.
And so
probably
it's just a really fun experience.
You know, if only I knew someone who wanted to go into woodworking and could create his own wood puzzles.
You can create them for me.
Yes. I could use my resources for them, and Bryan could just keep on looking good. I don't know how that works. Bryan, just keep on working out. I love it. This is awesome. Guys, we're so glad to have you on today. Thank you for putting up with our craziness. But, man, I wanted to get you guys back on. You guys were on a couple of years ago.
Yep.
Actually, a few, like, pre-COVID. So we're talking, like, at least 30 years ago at this point now.
Yeah.
Feels like it.
In, like, human years now. It's like it's been so long. But share a little bit about who you guys are with our new listeners and kind of your story. Share a little about where you guys, kind of everything that you kind of went through. We'd love to hear that. So take some time.
Yeah. So, again, my name is Bryan, and this is my wife, Alissa, and we've been together for 20 years, and we like to tell people that we've been happily married for 9. So we, I kind of grew up in the church and in a very kind of small town legalistic church, and a lot of rules and a lot of not much fun.
Yeah.
So I rebelled against that as a kid, and, just really kind of spun off and through my college years, and just really didn't have a relationship with the Lord, just knew what I knew from church, and got married my senior year in college, and just kind of moved off to St. Louis, Missouri, and ended up getting a divorce. All that to say, I came back to Midland 4 years later as a single man, and ended up getting set up on a blind date with Alissa.
Yeah, that's true. So I grew up in the church, grew up grace-filled, total grace, understand God's love. It's super easy for me to grasp. And so we were set up on a blind date. I was early. Well, I was like 24, I guess, when we met, but you want to know the story about the blind date? We probably already said it, didn't we?
Yeah, but let's recap that, because I would love to know, so you get set up on the blind date. What's your first reaction? What's your first thoughts? And how does that go? And did you both know you wanted to pursue it? Or was it one that was kind of like, I'm not sure. But after the pursuit, you're like, okay, I'm in,
Yes. So he gets out of the car, and I was like, I'm done with men. I'm tired of playing games. I'm tired of being disrespectful. I'm just done. So the bar was already high anyway. And so he stepped out of his truck, and I was like, he's got a truck. That's a good start. And then
Midland.
Well, here's the thing is I was way more into working out than he was at this time. And so he was actually a meathead, and he was very buff. But just so I didn't realize this part, but until we started running, because I was like, hey, I'm done with men. And if you want to meet me, we can go to the track and run. And so we met at the Lee track. He gets out of his truck. I'm like, hey, he's a good looking guy. And so I'm like, yeah, let's run. I don't know what I said. Did I just start out like, let's just run? And you're like, okay. And so we get one trip around the track, and he was like, can we just sit down and talk? And so we sit on the track, and we just laid it all out. And I was like, well, nice to meet you. See you later. Not interested at all.
She was running faster than you were in life, and
I love the fact, because if my wife had invited me to go for a jog the first day, we never would have met. I would have been like, nope.
You're like holding a donut at the time
with my defibrillator on my backpack just in case. The diode's hooked up just in case. Here, sweetheart, if I fall, just hit this button and I'll be back.
I'll be back in. Wow. Okay, so first date was not like a win. How did you guys connect up? I mean, like what happened after that?
Well, I knew that she was not interested in me, and that made me more interested in her. Because Alissa was.
It's a Hallmark movie.
She showed up, and she was wearing glasses because she was about to have LASIK surgery, and I was like, this chick's kind of nerdy. I dig it. And
no, but before that, my name.
Yeah, so. Like I said, we were set up on a blind date, and her maiden name is Jolly, and I'm like, great, it's probably going to be some fat chick, because
like Santa Claus's daughter.
Santa Claus. I was like, this is gonna go well, but I was pleasantly surprised, and just talking to her, she was different. I knew that she wasn't like any other girl that I had met before, and there was just something about her that made me want to pursue her. So she said she wasn't interested, guys, but we met and married within 9 months.
Yeah, boy.
Okay, but here's the thing, is I wasn't interested in him because we laid it all out on the table and I had these expectations of what I was looking for. He had been married before. We grew up different backgrounds. And so it just kind of started this journey. And I did have LASIK surgery, and he just was such a sweet friend through that, just checking on me because he had had the same surgery previously. And so he was just a friend, and I really appreciated him, his respect for me, and just his interest in what I realize now is like what I'm interested in, he's interested in, kind of thing. And so I really wanted to dive into, why do you believe what you believe? Is it because that's what the church has told you, or have you come to the conclusion on your own? And so we started digging into the Bible and just started. And at the time, I thought he had his own walk with the Lord. And so it was, so that was kind of how that happened so quickly after an I'm not interested reaction. So he just kept pursuing and kept diving in. And so that's how it happened.
So you date for 9 months, you get married, and then everything's amazing, right? Just like all the Hallmark movies, like you get there, it's angels, LASIK's working, you're both starting to work out
happily ever after.
Happily ever after. Like, when did the first signs of
Okay, so if we got married in what, July? And we met in October, I think, right? And so at Christmas, we met in October. December, December, he put up my Christmas lights for me on my house because I'm super independent. I'm an only child. I have my own house. I have my own career. I'm doing my own thing. And so he comes and puts Christmas lights on the house. And then we get married in July, and Christmas rolls around again. And he's like, there's no way I'm putting putting lights on that house because I'm terrified of heights. So we put on this crazy facade. And so things just kind of opened up pretty quick. And so I think that degree of separation happened quickly.
Oh, wow.
It started out fine. I think the first little bit, right?
Yeah. Well, we didn't have kids, obviously. And so we both had good jobs. And so we made good money. So we were able to travel and do fun things. And I think once the newness of that started to wear off, then that's when we really started kind of, and then, you can only fake it so long, right?
Yeah.
Not that I was faking it, but Alissa had this idea of what it looked like to be a spiritual leader in the home because she had that example set for her by her father.
Yeah.
And I did not have that in my home. So she had this expectation of what it looked like for me to be a spiritual leader. I had no idea what that was. And so we just were not on the same page with that. And it really started to affect our relationship.
Yeah. So you're saying, so the cracks started exposing themselves. Bring us to that point when you said, hey, this may not be what we want to do together anymore.
Yeah, it was just years and years of just coexisting, I think, is how we got to that point. And for me, it was, I'm driven. I want to get things done. I wanted to be the CEO of the company I worked for, super driven. And Brian's like, I'll be a stay-at-home hubby. And I'm like, no, you're going to go do something. You're going to be productive. And so he was happy to just go wherever the job took me and that sort of thing. And so we were looking at moving and all these things. And so it ended up that we stayed in where we met and married. But it really is that 1 degree of separation. And I think you just keep that 1 degree over time. So it was probably, it got to that point of we had kids and it just started, you get so involved with the children. We have 2 kids and just get involved in their lives. And so it just became, we were coexisting. And then I had a lot of resentment for him because he was not the man that I thought he was. And he wasn't like me. And we've learned so much over the years, but I really tried to control him to make him be more like me. And even in the beginning, you know, my dad, who was a spiritual leader in my house, in our house growing up, he would give Bryan books, and I would recommend this men's group and do this and all of that. And that just made the situation worse for Bryan. Yep. And so me trying to control everything was the demise on my side of the marriage.
So Bryan, what about you? As this is going on, she's reflecting and she's getting frustrated and she's nagging, for lack of a better term, and I don't want to put words in your mouth. What was your experience like? What were you going through on the inside?
Well, at that point, you know, I didn't know anything really about the enemy. And the enemy had completely isolated me. Like, I didn't have any men speaking into my life. I didn't have any community. And I just had a ton of self-hate because I felt like a failure. I wasn't being successful in my job. I wasn't being successful in my marriage. And so I just kind of completely shut off from the world. And, you know, I would come home and go straight to the bedroom and just kind of keep away from everyone. And I was such a coward at that moment too, because I didn't have, I don't want to say that, I got to watch what I say. I didn't have the courage to file for a divorce. I just was going to wait for her to file. And then it just got to the point where Alissa says it all the time. She hated me and she wanted me to die. And even in that, I remember the moment that we were in the kitchen one day, and Alissa came to me and she apologized. She said, I've been disrespectful to you, and the Lord has told me that divorce is not an option. And so at that point, I was like, well, crap. I mean, if divorce is not an option, we've got to make this work. And then I'll let you kind of go with that.
Yeah, so I just built up so much anger, resentment, bitterness towards him because he wasn't the man that I thought he was. And so I loved Jesus. I was in Bible studies. I had my community. But then there was this part of me that just despised my husband. And truly, it was like, if he's in an accident and dies, man, that is the way to go. If you're a Christian girl and you lose your husband, then everybody feels sorry for you. And so I really just believed the lies that life would be better if he wasn't around. And so I was waiting. He was super into CrossFit at this time. And I had actually gained a lot of weight because I it was really bad. He was really angry, and we can get out of our circles and talk about each other because we've done this we've hashed this out so much, but he was so angry, he would just yell to get his point across with the kids and stuff. He would just yell. I would shut down and withdraw. So I turned to food and just because it was such a comfort for me, because food didn't talk back or yell at me or anything like that. So I found this comfort in just like completely trying to push him out. And so he was very, very, very fit at this time. And so I was waiting for him to have an affair. He was waiting for me to file. So that's kind of the point we were at. So finally, one day I told God I was done. I'm like, I cannot live this way anymore. This is not good for me. You start recounting all the lies of I married the wrong person. My kids deserve a better dad, all the things. And so it made sense. It was practical. It was like, this is what needs to happen next. But I was also a Christian woman. And I'm like, well, I can't file without good reason. And just because he's a jerk, I want him to screw up so that I can be justified in what happens. I told God that I was done. I'm done with this. I can't do it anymore. And I literally opened my Bible, 1 Corinthians 7. And in those verses, that's what God just revealed to me. Divorce is not an option, and you are to be a believer in any situation I put you in. And I was like, well, shoot a monkey. I do not want to hear that. And so I knew that God was calling me to obedience. I had to apologize for my part. And the crazy thing about that is, in my head, the voices are like, nothing's going to change. Why bother?
Right,
You're
right.
wasting your time. It was almost audible. The voices in my head were saying that, but I just said, I had no idea what was going to happen next. But one thing that Bryan doesn't say, which I think is hilarious, is I followed that up with, I set a counseling session with a guy at the church. And this was like, I mean, Bill knows, at the time, the marriage minister now, he was in a very bad accident. So he had just come back, like was seeing people. Yeah. He had just come back and started seeing people. And so I was like, we're going to go see him. And Bryan lost his mind because he cared so much about what other people thought.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So
are you trying to shut me up? Am I talking too much?
No.
He's like pointing.
No, you're doing. You guys are doing great. You guys are doing great.
What I appreciate is the authenticity and the reality that you're bringing. I feel like a lot of people are in there, but because we don't talk about this, they're going through this journey alone, and they feel like the lies are the truth because they don't hear any counter conversations.
Yep.
And the fact that God was willing to take you to that scripture to kind of convict you a little bit and kind of say, no, you're in this. Like, now let's get after the hard work of making it happen. But I would love to know from you, again, like, there's so much built up resentment and there's so much built up hurt and scars and scabs and everything else. What was that process? Because I know that doesn't end in a day.
Yeah.
Like, the healing doesn't take place in a moment. It takes place over a long time. So what did you guys engage in once he gets on board? And I would love to know kind of your thoughts on how you got on board with this. We're going to heal this. How did you get over the resentment that can build up over those years?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, it truly was just giving it to the Lord. But in our situation, it was Bryan putting his yes on the table and walking out and doing hard things because, like he said, at this time, he didn't have anyone in his life. I took the kids to church by myself, birthday parties by myself. Bryan was not present. And so he would go I remember he went to the movies by himself. I was like, you're a weird duck. And so he would go do stuff on his own, but he was living such a lonely life. And so, for me, it was just, God, I can't do it anymore, trying to surrender and just trying to, but I also had really good community around me. I had women who were speaking truth over me and not telling me he's a deadbeat, you should just leave him. They were like, God's bigger than this situation, which in that circumstance, it's super easy to say when you're not in it, but you need those people surrounding you to encourage you and speak the truth of that over you. And so for me, it was the community that I had, and really just I had nothing left. I was done. I was at the end of my rope, and I was totally relying on the Lord for the next steps, because the next steps unfolded quickly because we went and met with Joe, and how that all came about. Bryan ended up going on a men's retreat.
This is great. I mean, I feel like we're hitting all the tension, all those like tension points.
Yes.
Because Bryan, I would love to hear. Okay, after that counseling session, what changed in your life that you're like, I need to do this? Like you talked about going on the retreat, but work through some of your story of like, here's the practical that happened to me during this time. After she said, hey, forgive me for what I've done. We're going to go do this, go and meet Joe for like counseling. But then what happened in your heart and life after that?
Well, I think in the counseling, Joe brought up a couple of things after he heard her story that I'd never heard before. He said, Bryan, the enemy has his foot on your throat and is keeping you from experiencing the life that God had created you to live. And so I didn't know anything about the enemy. Second, he said, Bryan, you're not a bad guy. And the way that I believed about myself or thought about myself is I thought I was a failure, and that I didn't think I was worthy of anything. And so he followed that with, and next weekend we have a men's retreat. And at that point in my life with no friends, I was like, oh, hell no. I'm not going to a men's retreat to hang out with a bunch of dudes that I don't know and
share my feelings. Yeah, exactly.
But I went on that retreat, and it was a complete God thing. God completely just softened my heart, and I was at a point in my life where I was rock bottom. I didn't have any other. I just came to the Lord, and I was like, I can't do this on my own. And he was like, okay. And he just walked me through this journey of healing through that weekend by showing me truth that I had never heard before. And so completely changed my heart. And I know this isn't normal, but like when I came back, I was a different guy. I was a changed man.
Yep.
And God had completely changed my heart. And through that, you know, just unpacking all the wounds and all the stuff that was there in the marriage and in my heart, just walking through that for the next, you know, few weeks with Alissa and just unpacking that stuff. God really came in and just restored the marriage and kind of set us on a new path.
So first off, I love what God does on men's retreats, and that's why we have one coming up in April.
Yeah, we have one coming up April 10th and 12th. Just kidding.
Sign up today, day. No, but so there's an internal shift in both of you guys that God has coordinated and made happen. But those internal shifts express themselves in behavior and changed behavior. So I would love to know from both of you guys, what were some immediate changed behaviors that you saw fruit from in the other person to start to become a better wife and a better husband? In that process. So Bryan, I'm gonna ask you first. Like, so you've had this moment, you've had this epiphany, you realize that God is for you, not against you. He's got a plan for you. What were some of the things that you engaged in behaviorally that you're like, this is going to make an impact in a positive way for my wife and family? And then Alissa, I would love to hear from you. What were some of the behavior things that you realized he needed from you to help him come alive and change the person he was?
Well, I think for me, it was just a heart change. You know, I was at that point, I realized how much God truly loves me, and it allowed me to love myself. And through that, it helped me love Alissa and our kids like God had, you know, intended it to be the whole time. But I just realized that when I started showing love and respect to Alissa, her heart posture changed towards me of more respect as well. And so I think that was the biggest change, is just being able to love. Like I you know, hated myself so much that I didn't even know what love looked like.
Wow. Sorry, we're just kind of processing that. I mean, so how did you experience true love from God? Like, what happened in your life for that specific moment that you're like, I got to make this change? Like, I mean, like what happened with you?
Well, I think the whole concept of grace was foreign to me. You know, growing up in kind of a legalistic church, it was do the right things, and if you don't, then you know you just hope that what you do is good enough. And he just showed me that it's not about how much we screw up. It's about his love and his grace towards us. And you know, just those truths of grace, but not only that, but just who I am in Christ. Like, you know, he calls me a warrior, he calls me a son, and those are not things that I would come up with my own or think about myself, but he really he kind of showed me identity through that.
Yeah. You know, and Paul, he has this beautiful part, and I believe it's Ephesians 4, where he talks about husbands love your wives, and wives respect your husband. And so specifically, Bryan, what were some things that you did that showed your wife that you loved her? And Alissa, what are some things that you started to do to show Bryan that you are beginning to respect him again?
Yeah, so I think, I don't know, you could probably speak to that, how I treated you differently.
Yeah.
But I think it was just grace, man. Like, you know, Alissa and I's personality are very different. And so she has a lot of great ideas, but, you know, I was the no man. You know, every time she would come to me, I would immediately shut her down and say, no, that's stupid. We're not going to do that. And so I think pretty soon after I came back, she would come to me with these ideas, and I wouldn't shut her down. I would listen to her, try to understand her heart behind things, because her heart is good.
Yes.
And I never had seen that kind of perspective. But God just really showed me that Alyssa's an amazing woman, and just I wanted to get to know her more.
So, Alissa, how about you? What were some things as God's shifting and changing your heart? How were you beginning to express in tangible ways respect back for Bryan, even with all of the hurts, all the resentment, and all of those scars?
Yeah, so first I'll say we've talked to a lot of people, and I think the caveat with what happened with Bryan is the fact that he truly surrendered everything. It wasn't this partial, I'll give you this, God. It was a true transformation of the entire heart. And I think once you realize how much you're loved by God, then it does change your life. And so when he came back, it was literally, it took 2 weeks to unpack everything that God had shown him in that weekend. So he literally came home, and he is a crier now. He was not a crier before. And so it's just crazy. Like just when God gets a hold of you, he can transform in an instant. It is not everybody else's story, but like, it is just unbelievable, the change in Bryan. And he would say, man, if you could see yourself the way I see you, that's what he would say when he came back. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Because he was so judgmental before and wanted us to be Ken and Barbie because it mattered what everybody else thought. And then here he is telling me that he loves me when I'm 60, 70 pounds overweight and I'm not comfortable in my own skin. And I'm just trying to just literally survive because it's been me and the kids and just trying to control and juggle life and all of the things. And so for him to come back and just be able to love me and see me where I am, that was huge for me. So that's one thing he did. And then on my side, it was showing respect to Bryan. And it is so easy. That's the cool thing about this, is it doesn't take much to affirm your spouse. Like, I'd be like, and really I had so much, like I had the whole list of things that the agreements that I had made, the lies that I had made about Bryan. And then it's like, God, you're going to have to show me what you see in Bryan because I don't see anything in him. And so it was, and again, this is before God he came back a different person, but it's like, you've got to show me what you see in him. So it was like, hey, thanks for working so hard for our family. Thank you for providing. Thank you for, so it wasn't like, oh my gosh, you love our kids so well, because he didn't. It was like, well, God, you've got to show me because I have nothing. I can't see him. I can't. So you've got to show me, as him being your child, what are some things I can affirm him in. And so now I can just be like, you're awesome, dude. Like, you're so buff. You're so, it's like, it's easy to affirm Bryan, because words of affirmation for any guy are important. And so I think showing respect and doing those things. And so it was really cool because God can do anything. He absolutely can, but I have to die to myself and ask God to fill me with his spirit, because I no longer, I try. I can't control what Bryan does, but in and through what God can do, it's like he can show me how to find ways to love Bryan and affirm him and the man that he is and the man that he's transforming him into.
Right. I love that. And real quick, Bill, someone said once, and I think it's so true, respect to a man is the word thank you. Like, and to be specific with those thank yous and understand that, like, it's still not perfect, but I appreciate the small things that I'm seeing that you're doing, and thank you. And for a guy, that's like wind in our sails, man. We will conquer Middle Earth if a woman behind us is like, man, thank you so much for investing in the kids. I know that's not easy for you right now, but I appreciate what you're doing there. That's huge.
I love this. And getting to see, so I know these guys from our life group that we had in Midland when we were there. And so knew you in the beginning. And then all of a sudden one day I meet Bryan again. I'm like, you're not the same at all. Like, who are you?
Right.
Jesus with huge muscles. Like, who are you? And so I loved seeing that. And I love the restoration. And so 9 years in, different marriage. I know there's still struggles. I know there's still battles. But knowing you guys, and when we had this conversation, you're like, it's worth it. It's worth what we're doing.
Yes.
What would you say to the guy or the lady who is literally waiting for their husband to die or the divorce papers to get thrown in their face, what would you say to them right now? What encouragement would you say to them in this journey?
I would say stop trying to control. It's actually in the Bible in Genesis that part of the fall is that you will try to control your husband. And so it's all women. We try to control, and it's like, you have to get out of the way because God wants the credit for what is to come. And if you try to control so much, you're going to think that you did something. I promise there's nothing you can do to change the heart of your husband. And so it's like, you have got to release that. And when you release it, you're giving control back to the Lord. And that's the thing that keeps me in my lane, because it's like, I can't change this situation. I can't change his heart. And so if I pursue Jesus and I focus on him, then he will provide what I need. And it really changes. I think it changes everything. And so that's what I would say is, you've got to stop striving, stop trying to look good for everybody else. Stop. I mean, it's exhausting, and you're killing yourself inside, whether it's depression or suicidal thoughts or just like your hair's literally falling out. Like, what is it that you just can't continue this pace any longer, trying to keep up the facade that you're living in? It's like, it's time to let it go.
Oh man, I love this. Bryan, what would you share with the guy who's sitting here listening going, nope, you don't know my wife? What would you say to them?
I mean, it's kind of along the same lines, is like, man, you can't change her. You need to focus on you and your relationship with the Lord. And if you pour into that and allow God to come in and change your heart, like he will heal the marriage. But I think guys are fixers, right? And so
absolutely,
when there's a problem, we want to go in and try to fix it or fix them. And that's never fruitful. So it's like, quit trying to fix other people and especially your wife. Just work on fixing your relationship with the Lord, and to get into community with other men that believe the same thing that you do, so that you can walk in accountability, man. And that's the thing that I try to tell, and I know you guys do the same thing as with guys, is like, it's not natural to be in community, but it's necessary.
Oof. Yeah, I know you have something to say, but you wanted to say it earlier. Guys, grow some balls and begin to get that community. I'm serious. Like, have the courage that Joshua had crossing the Jordan to go, I'm going to take the step so I could either fast forward my life and I could be single and my kids could have two different Christmases and holidays the rest of their life. I could be seeing my grandchildren on my own because my spouse is no longer with me, or I could have what Bryan and Alissa have now. And I think that's it, but go for it, man.
Well, and I was going to say, to summarize, I think the thing that I hear is both of you guys surrender to God and his lordship, which I think is the key. And from that, you learn how to serve each other in ways that helped each other come alive to the person that God created them to do. And you only do that in community. And the greatest community that God gives us is our spouse. And so, gentlemen, if you find that you're in a controlling situation or you're being controlled, pray for surrender. Pray that God would do what only he can do to change the heart, that you'd start to see the beauty in your wife again, to see her as the way that God sees her, and wives the same thing back the other way, and then figure out ways that can serve them to make an impact in their heart and in their lives, not to get something from them, but to help them come alive in who God created them to be.
Oh, love it. I love it. Guys, any final thoughts before we move into the Fast Five? Anything else you want to share with those couples or anybody else? Anything else you do?
Yeah. So a couple weeks ago, Eric Clark on stage, he's like, it's not biblical that there's one person for everybody and that you have a soulmate. It's not there. You married the wrong person. So you can get over that right now and realize that this journey is about making me more Christ-like, right? And so it's like, I have got to realize that the things that drive me crazy about Bryan, I have to look at it and go, God, what are you trying to show me in and through that? So it's this self-reflection, because I would always pick up a mirror and put it in front of Bryan. I'm like, look at you keep doing this wrong. When it's like, turn the mirror around and go, what can I grow? What is God trying to refine in me through this? And let God work it's not about fixing the other person. It's about me and what God's trying to do in and through me and the person he's creating me to be. So I think that's really important to know. I mean, I think it's hilarious that you married the wrong person, but everybody, I mean, it's because that's not the ultimate goal, is to find the perfect person. The ultimate goal is God can draw us to himself and make us more like him.
And I love it. Go, Brian.
Go ahead. No, I was just going to say the kind of final thoughts for me is like, and something that we try to share with other married couples is like, there is no hopeless situation. You know, there's always hope, and we're a living testament to that. And we just want to be able to share with other people that nothing's beyond repair with Jesus.
Amen.
I love it. And
Amen.
An old friend of mine said, the culture tells you that marriage is to make you happy. God tells us marriage is to make us holy.
Yeah.
That's
and
right.
I think that's exactly
So
what you're
true.
talking about. And it's so true. And when you understand that, the whole perspective shifts and changes on that. So
Absolutely. Look at
It
it.
absolutely does.
It's worth
And
the
we are
fight. It's worth the fight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
go for
are
it. Keep going.
so different. We are so different night and day. Even getting on this podcast, he's like, we got to be prepped. We got to be ready. We got to have it all figured out. Tech's got to be working perfectly. I'm like, if it's not, we'll figure it out. So it's
exactly.
just like, we are different for a reason, and that the goal is to work together and respect each other in and through that. And we do. There are some things that I've let go of, like Brian has to be 20 minutes early wherever we go, and instead of fighting it anymore, we're just early.
I'm going to be early.
It's good.
I love it.
I
Wow.
love it. Man, thank you guys for your transparency.
This is so great.
And your willingness to kind of revisit some of the difficult, dark seasons. And I love how God redeems the brokenness and restores it for his glory and his name. And so just thank you both so much for this journey that you've been on and being willing to share it. So, Bill.
No, I love it. I can't remember the exact scripture in Psalm, but it says that God heals the brokenhearted.
Yes.
And I think if we look at it and go, no, this is the end, this is the detriment of my life, this is the cross that I bear, instead to say, what if I allowed God to intervene in here and make the changes that need to happen? And you guys did exactly that. And it's exciting. Your story is, I know it's not perfect, but it's a testimony of God's grace and power.
Amen.
To change whatever is going on in our life.
Amen.
So I love it. I love it. I love it. So good.
Yeah, God's not looking for perfect people. He's
Nope.
just looking, and that's the thing, is we would miss out on the beauty and the richness of what we have now had we had given up. And so it's like, it's a sweeter, more intimate relationship now than it could have ever been before had we not gone through the difficult times. And so he absolutely refines us through those.
If you guys are if you're listening and you're in the Midland area, they do a marriage night on Wednesday nights at Stonegate Fellowship. I know you two are leaders of that as well. So if you need to, we will put a link for that info in the bio as well, because that's what you need. It's just this practical. I mean, just the reality of, hey, my spouse is a jerk, but I want to try and love them more than I want to just escape. So I love.
And if you want to connect with them, info@knownlegacy.org. We'll get you guys connected. If you have any questions, comments, or practical, like how do we move forward?
Yeah,
I know they would love to speak into that. So
Really
yeah,
love
absolutely,
it. Yep.
absolutely. Guys, such a testimony of God's grace. I love it. So thank you guys so much for your faithfulness. And as we finish today, we have a segment called Fast Five. There it is.
so dumb.
There it is.
It's
Kyle in the corner,
Kyle in the
pulling
corner,
through one more time.
making it happen. So, guys, are you ready for these Fast Five questions over here?
Sure.
Awesome. Question number one: if you could tell people to go support a cause or a ministry, what would it be?
Known legacy.
The pull quote.
We just threw a softball at you.
I really think Wild at Heart has been great. I mean,
Yes.
that is a great resource. I mean, I have local stuff that's not anything. But yeah, I really, it's really cool to partner with people that are doing great things for the Lord and
Amen.
desire to outreach. And two, my thing is, you got to be real and raw. And so that's who I try to surround myself with. And for people, we don't need any more people trying to have it figured out or perfection. So really align with those people that are vulnerable and honest.
Amen.
Amen.
So good. So good. If you could describe legacy with a word or a phrase, what would it be?
Future.
I like it.
Generational faithfulness.
Whew.
Nice.
I love it.
That was better. Yeah.
I appreciate the fact.
You
No,
thought,
they're both
you thought
good.
about your questions, didn't you? See, again, I don't think about the questions.
I did my homework.
I'm more just like Alissa. I'm like, yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out on the fly. I like that attitude. But I think it would say future generational impact. We can do it all together.
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
You guys are a perfect team. Look at that. We all worked it together. So awesome. If you had to change careers, what would you change it to?
Oh, I would totally be a realtor. That's what I would do. Yeah. But then I watched too much Dateline, and there was a lot of realtors who got murdered, and so I was like, that's probably not the best.
So probably not. See, that's the thing. So wives.
Because I'm very naive.
Stop listening to the murder podcast.
No, stop. This is my call to action. Because my wife can watch a murder thing, and she's eating popcorn, and I'm like, is she like figuring out a way
to execute?
I will say used to, yes. That was true of my marriage.
She was like taking notes. Like, okay, I get it. Don't you worry. Oh, no, that's awesome.
Mistakes to avoid. All right, number one.
Brian, what about you? If you could change careers, what would you do?
I think I would be a pickleball coach.
You would not. Oh my God.
That's awesome.
Brian for the home run. Love it.
That's awesome.
I feel like we need some pictures of you guys playing pickleball together.
We do. I think I need some for like the promo.
He doesn't play pickleball.
Oh!
Yet. Growth mindset. Yet. He doesn't play yet.
Future generations.
That's right.
I love it. Awesome. Okay. If you had a go-to fruit, what would it be?
And just so you know, there's a lot of judgment that will happen on this answer, so I hope they're good.
Yes. So if you had a go-to
On
fruit.
fruit?
Yes. What would you? Oh,
It's
you don't.
weird.
You don't
have
know
no
that-
idea.
Someone said chocolate one time, and we're like, we'll take it. We'll take that answer. If you had a go-to fruit, what would it be?
Strawberries.
It's a good choice. Good choice. Solid.
I would say pineapple.
Oh.
We haven't had a pineapple yet.
No. I'm a little allergic. It kind of messes with my mouth. I'll be honest with you.
Pineapple. Okay,
Sorry
so
for you, buddy.
I know. I am too. It looks amazing. It's all spiny on the outside, but deliciousness on the inside. Kind of like me.
That's exactly it. Oh man. So, okay, I guess I'd say 4A. What kind of apple would you guys choose?
Oh, this is the one.
What apple would you guys choose?
Honeycrisp.
Yes. Okay. What about you, Alissa?
I mean, are they called gala apples? Gala. Is that what they're
That's
called?
okay. That's okay. As long as you didn't say
I don't
Red
really
Delicious. You said Red Delicious.
Or
We're just
Granny
we're gonna
Smith.
stop that right now. We're done. I'll even take Granny Smith over a Red Delicious
Yeah.
because they're not delicious.
They're not. They're red,
not
but they are not delicious.
Red
That's
granular.
why they
or
have
something.
to call them delicious.
Exactly. No, really, it's really good. You should try this. Sure, God, we don't know
I'm
what you're
not
talking
an
about.
apple connoisseur. I don't know much. I'm just whatever.
Yeah.
I actually like little apples. We have
Okay,
them in our-
okay.
in our kitchen now, so if I can just find the smaller one, the big ones just seem like a little bit of overkill.
Alyssa's favorite fruit is Taco Villa.
No,
That's
and then
awesome.
I'll come home with those Honey Crisp that are like this big, and they're $2.70.
I know they're like
They're
4
crazy
pounds of an
expensive.
apple. I know.
Yeah.
Although Taco Villa is the best because they put a little tomato on top of the taco. It's pretty incredible. Like
So,
I
you
mean,
know, you're
that's
getting your health food.
Good stuff.
exactly. So
Tomatoes are fruit, right?
there is fruit on there. Exactly. Tomatoes are fruit.
Yeah.
Another way
smart.
we are a little bit different, a little bit.
That's awesome. I love it. Okay. Last question. What do you want to be remembered for by those closest to you?
Ooh, how I love, for sure.
Like it.
It's a good one.
It's a good one. Brian, what about you?
Beat that one, Brian.
My pickleball skills.
Oh my god. Y'all,
The Grand Slam! The Grand Slam!
No, it's not a grand slam. To give you strength. It is not.
That's awesome.
He always complains his back hurts when he plays pickleball. What are we
I've-
talking about?
I have to get like an AI picture, Brian, like with his paddle, killing it out
You
there.
with no shirt. That was
Exactly.
Yes.
No, we don't want people to lust. Okay, Alissa. All
Yes,
right.
yeah, no.
Starting with me, I don't want to do that.
No
okay?
stumbling blocks. No stumbling
Exactly. No
blocks.
stumbling blocks for us. So,
No, he's
guys,
like one of the most modest guys ever. He would never.
I love
If there's
him.
a shirtless picture of him, it's AI. It's not.
it's definitely. Then we are going to make this happen.
Kyle, get after it.
Kyle in the corner, make it happen. Make it so. Make it so. Guys, this has been incredible. I love that you
Fantastic.
gave hope to those who feel like they're in a hopeless marriage. But man, so much truth
so
spoken
good.
today. thank you guys for your faithfulness. And like I said, guys, we're going to put the link in the bottom for Stonegate's marriage night. If you are in West Texas area, it's worth the drive. I know you guys are people that come all the way from like Odessa, which doesn't seem like a far ways away, but it's still pretty far, 20, 30 minutes. Make sure you guys get a point to be out there. Guys, thank you for your faithfulness.
Yes.
We'll have you on again. I mean, it's been a blessing. Thank you guys so much for being here. Hang on for a minute. But, guys, thank you so much for listening today. We are so excited about what God can do in your marriage.
Yes.
If you're thinking that it's hopeless, it is not. God has great plans for you. Make sure you check out our links for our men's retreat, the Bible study. We want you to be a part of something you are worth not doing life alone with. God has bigger plans for you. Travis, final thoughts?
There is no such thing as Disney happy ever after.
Amen.
It is about surrender and serving, and get after it.
Amen. You guys have a great week. We will see you soon.
God bless.
Thanks for listening to the Known Legacy Podcast. We'd love to hear from you. So email us your questions or comments to info@knownlegacy.org.